All right, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of For the City. I am your co-host, Francisco.
And I am Chef Boy Ortiz.
So. Now, back to the Brownies.
Yeah.
What happened, man?
What happened?
How does he throw four picks in that game, and all you guys come up with is 13 points?
Man, I wish I could just put it on one thing, which I know pretty much everybody in the world and the media is putting it on one thing, which is asinine right now. Everybody's laying it on Baker. Man, if you watch that game, I think it all falls on Stefanski, man, the head coach, man. He got out coached, he got out game plan, out scheme. I mean, everybody, even myself, I said the game plan was to run the ball. We got Chubb back when we had Hunt, and from anybody watching the game could see that Kareem was the one that was getting the yard. You know what I'm saying? Every time Kareem ran the ball, it was 3, 4, 5 yards each time. He was getting pushed, and he just had each week is different. You know what I'm saying? And Kareem had the hot hand. He wasn't running Kareem. I don't know if it was because of his, just coming off injury or what. He wasn't even in there on the last series. As far as the passing game, I mean, we really overrated our receivers. Now, Jarvis is a beast. I like Jarvis still, but Hollywood wasn't out there because of some stupid, he got not suspended, but he got deactivated right before the game because he missed like a team meeting or something like that. But I don't know, man. People dropping balls, penalties still. We're the most undisciplined team I've ever seen. It's crazy how in 1 year they go from a super disciplined, no penalty team to one of the most penalized teams, if not the most penalized in the league. So it was just a cluster, man. I mean, only Cleveland can find a way to do things. We make historical things happen, but in a worse way. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man, because your defense was phenomenal in that game. 4 picks. Garrett set the single season sack record for the Cleveland Browns in that game and that loss. Your defense did what they needed to do. Your offense didn't step up, and your offense had plenty of opportunities to do so. There were some good throws that Baker had that your receivers just didn't get. So it can't all go on Baker. But at the same time, I mean, from the reports that I'm hearing, he's good enough to play, man. So if he's good enough to play, they got to find a way. I still don't think they're working the offense around him to benefit his skill set, which they still haven't done since since the beginning.
No,
but Stefanski is on the hot seat. I no matter what anybody says, Stefanski's on the hot seat, and the reason I say he's on the hot seat is because he's not making any in-game adjustments for his team. You're losing games you shouldn't lose. They shouldn't have lost this game. No. Now you're back to being a 500 ball club. You're at the bottom of the division. Okay. You're at the bottom of the division. The only reason you're at the bottom of the division, not tied with Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh has that tie that they had. Other than that, you guys would both be sitting at the bottom of the division, but you would be above them because the Browns, did the Browns?
No, we lost to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's right. You lost to Pittsburgh.
Cincinnati.
And beat Cincinnati. Right. So you guys would be still at the bottom of the division. So I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what's going on with the offense, man. I really don't. Something's not clicking.
I honestly, like I said, man, I watched that game, and I was specifically watching the game. Like I turned down the volume. I didn't want to hear the announcers and all because everybody, got their opinions about certain things and stuff. But if you just watching the flow of the game and everything like that, like you said, there's no adjustments. You run when you should be passing. You pass when you should be running. Like that first drive, which is always the scripted drive, Baker came out, lights out, boom, 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 hitting people on, putting the ball on the money. You know what I'm saying? Putting touch on the ball. And you know what I'm saying? He made his play, drove him down, got him in the field goal. Should have been more than a field goal because, DPJ dropped the third down pass, hit him in the chest, and they had to settle for a field goal, which which I thought would be an asset. Our kicker apparently is trash now. He barely, out of nowhere, he was perfect through half the season, and then all of a sudden he's like, he can't even make an extra point now without, holding your breath.
He's
skittish, man. It's amazing how he missed one field goal and everything just falls apart. But that first drive looked beautiful, like he's been doing, scripting it. But then as soon as it comes to now we got to make adjustments, they made adjustments. He's not, man. He's just it's insane, man. Like the play call, like they're putting 9 in the box and they're running a run play into a 9-man front. It doesn't matter who your running back is. You got 5 guys blocking. You got 9 guys on the line. it's simple math, man. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I really think. I don't think Stefanski's ever liked Mayfield because he wasn't Stefanski's guy. Remember, Stefanski got hired when Mayfield was already here. Head coaches like to have their own guy. Head coaches like to bring their own person in. And if he doesn't like Baker, okay, if he doesn't like Baker, he's not going to work as hard to try to put the offense around him. He's going to want Baker to evolve around what he wants Baker to do instead of the other way around. You have a first round pick. Baker took you to was a couple plays away from the AFC Championship game last year, and yet you don't make any adjustments for this guy. It's just telling to me that I don't think Stefanski really likes Baker Mayfield as his quarterback. He wants to pick somebody himself that can run the offense the way he wants to run the offense. But remember what happened in Minnesota. You got rid of your star players. You got rid of your best players. That team went to crap. You know what I mean? You're not passing the ball. You passing the ball to your best offensive weapon. He leaves the team. You know what I mean? Like there's a trend going on here with Stefanski. It's not heading in the good direction, man. It's not heading to good. Remember, he made the playoff. I think he made the playoffs one or twice with Minnesota when he was coaching them. Good team. What happened the following seasons? They got turned into garbage. This is nothing new. Stefanski needs to step it up. The defense came to play though.
No, well, I was just say the other thing before we get on defense. Yeah, like the as far as the offense goes, when Stefanski realized, like, I mean, we lost Conklin in the first quarter or whatever. Our right tackle, we got our right tackle back, our starting right tackle, who is a Pro Bowler, and then he got hurt. So obviously that affects the right side of the. You know what I'm saying? He's on the right. He's a right tackle. Course. So they're running the ball to the left, and everything like that. But your strength, like Teller pulling and things like that, like the other guys, they're not. It wasn't the same. So, like I said, when things happen, he just, I don't know, man. Like I said, it just seems like he freezes up and he starts throwing out these, like, come on, man. You ran a wildcat trick play with like in the middle of the game, we get a turnover, we rolling, and everything's looking good. And it worked last week, so they're like, let's do it again. We're gonna have Jarvis line up back there and do a trick play and throw, and then he fumbles the ball and they get the ball right back. It was like that right there. That's when I knew the game was over. I'm like, oh my God, he did not just, you know what I'm saying? Again, he can't control what Jarvis does with the ball. But why? At that point, you didn't need it. You got a turnover. You're on their side of the field. Play conservative like you always do. Get the points, and we would have been good. And the game would have been closer. I mean, it was a 3-point game at the end of the game before they, kicked that last field goal. But yeah, man. But like you said, right side is the defense, man. I mean, I guess Joe Woods is safe for right now. You know what I'm saying? I guess he can walk around looking like, yeah, y'all wanted to fire me, and I'm out here making this look good.
Right. The defense was phenomenal. Like I said, 4 picks in the game. But they couldn't turn it into points like they should have. Garrett was phenomenal in that game. He's the bright spot on that defense year in and year out. But you guys get a break next week. There's no game on the schedule, but you get Baltimore when you come back off break. So you have a little chance to get a revenge game right now. But I think a week off is going to do the team some good. You'll be able to rest some bumps and bruises and then come in with a new mindset to try to make that final push to try at least to get to 10-7 or maybe, over 500. That's the best I can tell you. Right. I mean, that's the best the best you can do right now is 11-6.
Yeah.
Is the best you can do. So if you get to 11-6, you still might not make the playoffs.
Nah, we need a lot of things right now. I'm not even thinking about the playoffs, man. Let's finish.
You need a lot of things to fall in place. Yeah.
There's a lot of.
Possibility's still there though.
It is. We got the tiebreak over Cincinnati, but they don't look like they're slowing down. Oakland is one of the other teams we play where we could possibly get a tiebreaker over them.
Hey, we beat them. But you guys can beat
them. Yeah. Nah, I think right now the division is probably gonna be Kansas City, New England, Buffalo. Those 3 are pretty much a lock. And then you got Baltimore, probably is going to be, I'm sure Baltimore is going to win the division. So there's your 4. And you got 3 wild cards. You still got Oakland sitting there, Kansas City. Cincinnati's right there. Who's the other AFC team right now that's kind of in the mix?
Chargers,
yeah. Chargers are, even though I think they lost too. So
yeah, they're not.
And they have the tiebreaker over.
So you have a lot of teams that are not playing well. So let's shift gears here. New York Giants. Wow. Wow. All I can say is wow, because I called the score, that how much the Giants were gonna score in the game.
Right.
That was correct. You know, so I thought they were gonna put up maybe 10, 13 points or something, and that's what they did. Surprisingly, they beat an Eagles team that I thought was on the verge of emergence and coming back. They were playing really, really well, but it was Michael Strahan day. Okay, it was his day. They got pumped. You know what I mean? They showed up. Their defense showed up on Michael Strahan day, and they put a whooping. They put a whooping on defensively on the E. They didn't let the Eagles do anything in that game, movement wise with the ball. Bradbury had a good game. Giants D stepped, man. They stepped up. I'm surprised. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like it surprised me, because I told you this team has always been a first half team. Always been a first half team. Saquon still don't look right to me, man. Saquon does not look right to me still. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's skittish, if he's, afraid to make those cuts. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't seem like it's himself. The offense is still anemic. I mean, it's still, listen, I give Freddie Kitchens the benefit of the doubt because it's a transition week for him. So he's just getting the offense under his way, the way he wants it. Mm-hmm. So hopefully next week they come out guns a-blazing and put up some points. Until they prove me otherwise, man, I don't know. But now talks are that they're close to, they might be in a playoff hunt, which I find, absolutely asinine.
It seems like that's always the case with the Giants, man. It no matter what their record is for the first half, it never fails, man. These dudes is always like second half of the season, like they can still make the playoffs.
But technically they can. They can, which is the funny part, because the NFC is trash. I mean, let's just keep it 100. The NFC is trash right now. You only got two or three good teams. Yeah, that's about it. So everybody else is in the middle of the pack. I don't think it's going to happen. Honestly, you know who I think might win the division? Washington.
Yeah, Washington, man. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, man. Like, I guess the teams that really have those solid defenses. I mean, Washington's defense lost. What's his name? That first round pick, that defensive end from Ohio State. I can't think of his name. Top of my head, but
Chase Young.
Chase Young. But no, man. I mean, your team, like I said, I saw it coming, and like I said, me being, I'm not a full blown, Giants fan, but as a bystander on the outside looking in, you could tell that their defense was starting to click, and it's been getting better. They did something with Jalen Hurts that ain't nobody been able to do in the last 4 weeks. They shut this dude down. He didn't throw a ball. He didn't throw a touchdown. He had 3 picks. So that Giant secondary is gelling for real. You know what I'm saying? They're looking really good, which is amazing because of the injuries they had too. You know what I'm saying? With Peppers and everything, for them to be out here balling like they're balling. And then again, they did the polar opposite of the Browns. They did what they needed to do on defense and made just enough plays on offense.
But I think one they got embarrassed those 2 games when they gave up 75 points in those 2 games. That defense has been playing a whole lot better. They've lost games along the way, but they haven't been absolute complete blowouts except for the one for the Bucks.
Tampa
Bay. But that's Tampa. That's Brady. They're loaded on that squad. But their defense has pretty much stepped up and done everything they need to do to keep them in games, which I'm surprised about. Listen, I'm not going to complain. A win's a win. They have an opportunity next week to get 5-7. They should beat Miami, period. There's no reason I don't see them not beating the Dolphins. There's just no reason they can't get that win against Miami. But the Giants are the Giants are going to giant. You know what I mean? They're going to find a way to lose, or they're going to find a way to barely win. But this was a good win. This was a division game. Division games are always important to Giants. So, and you called it, man. You said it, that you thought the Giants were going to get up for this game, but you did say they were going to lose. But you did say they were going to get up for this game. I thought they were going to get run off the field, but I was wrong. But I was also right about the amount of points that they were going to score. Yeah. So it's good to see them get these type of wins, but at the same time, as a true fan, you want them to win. But at the same time, it's like in my back of my head, oh man, you're messing up the draft picks. You're messing up the draft picks. You're messing up. You need offensive linemen. So, I mean, I'm happy for them, but I'm hoping next week that they can prove that this win wasn't a fluke and at least put two together, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're going to be right there in the middle. You get that win, you're right there in the middle. You can end your season. I remember I predicted this year they were going to end the season. I said 9-8.
9-8, yeah.
9-8. So I said they were going to be a 500 ball club, either 9-8 or 17 games.
8-9
right?
or 9-8.
Yeah, it was
8-9 or 9-8.
Yeah, it was
like
going to be one of those, something like they were going to be a 500 ball club, and they're proving me right now because they're close to being into that 500 mark. So speaking of which, Brownies are free next week. They get a chance to rest up. So previewing next week's game, it's going to be a Giants heavy show because obviously the Browns are not playing. So what are your take on the Miami Giants game for next week?
Well, like you said, man, I think Miami's been playing well lately. I think they got a little bit of a boost of confidence after that Baltimore game. But again, this is definitely a winnable game. I think the defense is what's going to hold them down. I don't think I think this is going to be another one of those kind of run the ball. Whoever has the most turnovers or least turnovers is going to win the game. Tua's back in there and he's going to cough up the ball. So I think, they're doing good against these rookie quarterbacks. So, they did it to Jalen and now they're going against Tua. I'm pretty sure they're going to get some picks on Tua as well. So as long as Daniel Jones holds on to the ball, does what he needs to do. Again, Saquon probably isn't 100%. He really doesn't have that burst right now. But, Miami's secondary is pretty good too. So again, it's going to be turnovers. So I see it being like 3 or 4 turnovers, who's going to go back and forth and the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win the game. But Miami's not a powerhouse in the least bit. So this shouldn't be a game that, I definitely don't see the Giants getting rolled. I actually do think they're going to win the game. If we're doing predictions, I'd probably say Giants are going to win 21-17, something like that. Okay. Not too much of a high scoring game, but it's going to might be a pick six, you know what I'm saying, in there, a fumble for a touchdown, something like that. Your boy, what's his name? McKinney and the other secondary guy, Bradbury. Those are going to be the factors right there, man. I think those two guys are going to make the biggest difference right there. So I think the Giants got enough to pull this one out.
So the game is in Miami, 1:00 game. Weather's going to be, it's Florida. Weather's always going to be good in Florida.
Right.
It's going to be 1:00 game. What I can guarantee you in that game is Daniel Jones good for 1 touchdown. That's all I can guarantee you. If you look at the stats this year, Daniel Jones is good for you for 1 touchdown. He'll get you 1 touchdown. Either it's in the first quarter or second quarter of the game. He's going to get you at least 1 touchdown. Now the kicker is going to have to do the rest of the job for you.
Right. Yeah, boy.
Because they have no offense. That's been the biggest problem. They have all these big players in the beginning of the year and, hurt. None of them are, playing the way they need to be playing, drop passes, things of that nature. Ingram is a walking injury. You know what I mean? Galladay, what can I say about, him? So, it's to the point now where my expectations are low and they're going to continue to be low. But this is a game I say they can win. I actually have this game. I don't think they're going to put up 21 points. I think it's going to be more like 16-14. I think the Giants pull this game out on a field goal. You know what I mean? That's just how it is because I don't think their offense can put up those kind of points. Yeah. I just don't. So my dark horse of the game is going to be, honestly, I think this should be a game Saquon can play and put up some yards. And the reason I say that is because it's in Miami. The weather's going to be good. It's going to be on. It's not. It's going to be grass. It's going to be warm. His body's going to be loose. I think this is a game that he can actually try to resemble himself a little bit. So I think if Saquon puts up the yardage, I think the Giants win this game pretty handily. But if not, I still see the Giants winning this game, like I said, like 16-14 around there. It's going to be a defensive struggle, grounded out game.
Right. Yeah, man. And like you said, I think what I'm looking at the odds right now, they got the over under at 40 and a half, something like that. So Vegas thinks it's going to be under, 20 points each, you know what I'm saying? So kind of where I thought it would be at, like I said, we'll see what happens, Yeah. But no, man, it's nice to see, man. Like I said, the fact that, they're 4-7 and still in the playoff hunt, which is amazing to me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll be pissed, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all make it in going like y'all just say y'all run the table, man, and go, 10-7, and we finish 11-6. and don't make it in, I'm gonna be like
can't be mad because Belichick did the same thing. He went 11-5 that one year when Matt Castle didn't make the playoffs. You guys went 10-6 that one year, didn't make the playoffs. So you can't have a winning record and not make the playoffs. It's always in the AFC.
The AFC, man. The
100%.
NFC, you can get in with an 8-9, whatever record.
Well, if the debacle wouldn't have happened last year, the Giants would have made it in with what was it, 5-7 or some just a below 500 team that would have made the playoffs. It would have been crazy. They would have, they would have been able to get in,
or something like
7-9 or something like that. They would have been able to get in, but it is what it is, man. We got to enjoy the season. It's the season of mediocrity. That's what I call it. The season of mediocrity in the NFL. So some parting shots here. What you got on your mind?
Well, man, like I said, I've come to the realization that I think this season's over for us, man. I was listening to Andrew Berry's press conference, like his, State of the Union type deal. I couldn't have been happier. We finally I'm just happy we had a bye week, man. I can finally be relieved a little bit, no stress. I ain't got to think about it right now because this has been frustrating, man. As a Browns fan coming into this year, all the expectation, all the hype. This has been just a punch to the gut, man, these last few weeks, man. So it's good to get this break in. I'm going to relax, enjoy it and, get to sit back, finally watch some NFL on the weekend without being, stressed out. Man, I think I went to bed at like 1, 2 in the morning after the game. I was so amped up, so stressed out, man. It wasn't even funny, man. So it's good to be able to relax, man. I'm going to enjoy this bye this week, man.
So my parting shots are Giants fans, please temper your expectations. If they get to 500, do not get overly excited. Take it with a grain of salt. Enjoy it. Your Giants are not making the playoffs this year. It doesn't matter what you say. I don't care what scenarios you come up with. Their offense is not putting up the points necessary, period. You're not going to keep up with these teams. And if you do get into the playoffs somehow, by the skin of your teeth, you're going to get blown out in the first round. It's as simple as that, because you're going to have to go up against either Green Bay, Tampa Bay again.
Yeah,
Arizona. It's just not going to happen for you. It's just not. So temper the expectation. Be happy that we're moving in the right direction and we're going to be a 500 ball club. And welcome to the middle. It's as simple as I can put it.
Yeah. That's what it is, man. We living in that middle. We in the friend zone right now forever,
right.
Man. Our teams are forever in that friend zone. Well, we were in the dumpster for a long time, so I guess I shouldn't be too upset about it.
All right, folks. This has been For the City. We will see you next week.
All right.